All right, so I'm going to do these presentations. This is a presentation that I've done a long time ago, and therefore let me share it with the YouTube community and take it from there. Yeah. So this is Journey to Africa, mapping your path to return. So I go to Africa a lot, and a lot of people um ask me a lot of questions. Oh, how come you're going to Africa? I've been to a few African countries, and I enjoy traveling. I've been to most of the Caribbean islands and, some European countries. And Africa has been, as someone from the motherland, it's it's a journey going back and forward, right? And you learn a lot. Every time you go, you learn. That's one thing, you know. You could travel to France and everything runs smooth and you come back and sometimes there is no issues. But when you travel to Africa, you're constantly learning. You're learning throughout your whole journey, from A to Z. Um, Constantly learning, right? So, you know what? Let's start off. So I did this presentation for some people, and they really loved the presentation. So I thought, let me go ahead and do it again for my YouTube channel that I haven't. I should say I need to upload more videos. I've neglected for a little bit, but anyway, it's busy, 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 busy. So number one, self-reflection and goal setting. It's very important that you self-reflect and you set goals, just not just going to Africa, in general in life. If you don't reflect and you don't set goals, life will be very difficult for you. Sun Tzu once said that, before you go to battle, you need to calculate. You need to go into the tempo of calculation first. You need to know your strength, your weakness, your threat, your opportunities, and so on. So self-reflection is really important, right? So you need to set goal. Which country I'm going? Why am I going there? Or if you're even going for holiday or you're just going for tourism, you need to at least reflect and set goal. Really important, right? So define your specific objective. If you're looking to go as a diasporan, you want to go back and you want to build a career down there, define your objective. Look for such as career opportunities. If you're just going there for culture, then you want to immerse yourself within the culture. And if you're just going there to to contribute or to help the community, to help your environment, to help your people, so on. But you need to reflect on a personal motivations, aspiration, and long-term goals regarding, we all need to return some one day, right? There's a lot of thing going on in Europe, in the West, in China. I mean, history hasn't been kind to us, and wherever we go, people don't really have much respect for us. But sometimes, sometimes it is what it is. But define your goal and move on. And number two, right? Do research. It's really important to really, really, really do your research. When I was in Rwanda, one thing I've noticed, I did a lot of research before going to Rwanda, right? And I went to LinkedIn. I met a few people that I really wanted to see, and I emailed them. I first added them, emailed them. Out of 10, 8 people said yes. So do research. If you're into tech like me, and you're obsessed with technology and businesses and travel and wealth, banking and finance, I'm your guy. So I wanted to meet a lot of people in Rwanda, especially also in Ethiopia. When I went to Ethiopia, there were a lot of people that I was interested in meeting. And again, LinkedIn is your way forward. If you don't know what LinkedIn is, just Google LinkedIn and get a profile, get to know these people and do a research and go and see them. Look at the town you want to go. Explore things that you want to do. If it's a social, political environment, if it's an economic opportunity, or if you just want to go, enjoy life, or you want to immerse in the culture, do your research. Africa is really big. You could put a lot of countries, these so-called powerful countries in Africa, and it still will not be enough. So It's a big place. If you even think about Conakry itself, it's a massive place, right? So do your research, find out which country you want to go to. If it's the East African bloc, you're looking at your Kenya, your Uganda, or your Rwanda. If it's the ECOWAS, the West Africans, then you're looking at typically your Nigeria, your Ghana, to throw in Sierra Leone there, and Guinea. There's a lot of thing going on in West Africa, and then of course, if you want to go South Africa, there's South Africa also, and then of course, your Central Africa. So I mean, if you're from certain group of people, you'll likely want to go back to your country. So do a lot of research, and then move from there, right? Well, financial planning is one of those things that you should really, really, really um, take into account. And I mean this in a nice way. Don't don't overstep this one. Financial planning is really, really important, especially when you go into Africa, because especially if you're going to stay with family members. Don't make that mistake. But again, find a hotel, find a place where you don't have to inconvenience yourself, especially with family members. So know your budget, know how much you're spending, and plan for it. Don't go there trying to save everybody, and have a plan, honestly. And financial is one of those things that you really need to plan for, especially going to Africa, right? Because you think your 100 pound, like in Guinea Conakry, will give you 1 million. You think that's too much. But mate if you look at if you actually start converting, you end up spending, for some strange reason, every time I go to Africa, I always spend more. It's crazy. I could lose maybe 5K like in 2 weeks. I kid you not. Or you could even spend more, right? So yeah, plan, assess, goal settings, again, plan creation, and then execute, and then monitoring. Not just go there and freely just, because you're gonna find a lot of people coming to you for 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 unnecessarily, pity, sometime just good stories, and you fall for it because you feel pity for them, or you have emotional blackmail. So consider saving. It's an initial thing, like in the UK or in America. You must have some little savings, or use your credit card or whatever. But consider saving, putting some money on the side, and having a budget, and also making sure you stick to it. You don't go there and because things will come at you. There's I guarantee you, especially if you go to your own, if you're just going there, you don't know nobody. There's a time when you're buying stuff, or they know you're not from there. The price is going to go up, either you like it or not. So, and plus, if you're staying with family members, the emotional stories that tell you, you end up spending more. So it's good that you learn to really, really take time and plan this financial part. Very important, right? So now we're moving on to networking and community engagement, right? So very important one. I always say to people, go on LinkedIn, find people you're interested in the subject and the field, get to know them, talk to them, or join these WhatsApp group. Or if it's in, if it's a community, they always have this cultural community. Go there and speak to the people, engage with the community you want to go to, right? So connect with African diaspora, someone like me, always happy to help. Connect with me, organizations and communities in the target country or region. Attend joint social groups and engage with local communities, build support and network, and gain, like, get to know people. That's all I could say in an easy term. Really get to know people. The more people you know, especially in Africa, life is easy, right? Because you find that there are certain people are in positions that could make your life really easy or really hard. So get to know the right people and move forward. Yeah. And then the next one is, of course, skill development and education, right? So again, this is your own personal development and education. You want to constantly be learning, right? Identify skills or knowledge on area that may, enhance your career if you're looking to go back and looking to start something there, and contribute to the community, because it's the only way you will learn. Like, and also, if you're into education, and you want to do some training, some program training, or you want to get some certifications or online certifications, places like Udemy, and on like YouTube is a great place to learn. I've learned a lot in YouTube. I've spent a lot of money on certifications, especially with cloud computing, with generative AI. That's where most of my money is going to now. And data camp is also one of them. So really learn these skills and use these skills to build something, right? That's what the whole point of learning is. I mean, in Africa, honestly, most of the things we lack is just knowledge. And we have access to the knowledge, but we're using it wrongly. I find a lot of young people in Africa, they spend a lot of time on their mobile phone, paying Facebook. Um, we're more of the consumer mindset than the producer. Not all of us, some of us, but that Facebook, by you just creating a group or pages, that's another way for you to make money. But again, at the same time, most of them just spend their time on Facebook and in Instagram and so on. But again, that's everybody's, entitled to their enjoyment. So the next one is culture adaptation and language and learning, right? Of course, if you're going to a country like France, it's an advantage to know little words like, your hello, how you doing, my name, thank you, how much does this cost. Same thing, we go to Africa, we think, oh, you know you find majority of the people speak their own native language. Only the administration side or business side of like, for example, Conakry, you see them speak French, but majority of the time they speak in another language called Susu. And then you have your few Maninka and the Soso. But understanding that helps. Understanding cue phrases, um, you know, like if you go to Nigeria, you need to know the little the words that they use. It might be broken English. Same thing in Sierra Leone. Sometime when I go to Freetown, and I'm talking to them, they're looking at me like strange. Or, okay, I don't understand what you're saying, even though we're both speaking English. But you need to know how the body and the body find. And so knowing that helps. Knowing the language of the area and the community help. So begin learning. The more you learn, the better. The more African languages, if you're looking to go back, the better. Immerse one yourself in American and sorry in African culture, in activities, in tradition, in customs, and deep understanding and appreciation. Sometimes we just go there, we think, I'm just gonna speak English all the way, right? It's you don't learn much by just going there speaking English. You go there, learn the language. I mean, anytime, like when you speak someone else's language, it feels good, right? It shows that you care. All right, so the next one is establish professional network. Again, it's very, very, very important to have. There's a side to play, and then there's a side to work, right? So professional, you have to learn to utilize your professional networks, right? So I remember going to Conakry and meeting one guy who already has a business, and I met this guy on LinkedIn, by the way. We both don't. He doesn't speak English. I don't speak French. I don't speak his native language. He doesn't speak my native language. But I've actually gone more far with this guy than even people who speak my own native language. And it's really you knowing those people around you, those people that have the same objective and goal as you, and moving forward with them. So leverage your professional network within the African diaspora and local networks in the target country, right? So whichever, I mean, I know a lot of people that I love and respect in Rwanda, who are also in Ethiopia and also in Kenya. um, There are people in West Africa that are mostly there, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Gambia, in Sierra Leone, in Guinea Conakry. So learn, meet these people. Sometime I got on conferences in Nigeria about mining or about finance, about banking. And from there, I met these guys online and I talked to them. I had them on LinkedIn. So, again, really getting to know your professional network. Whatever you do, find people in the same field and work hard with them. So, visit and explore, right? So, you need to learn to visit and explore the country that you wish to go to, right? It's really, really important. Watching YouTube video, watching this video, it's not going to give you everything. You need to go there and see the country yourself. I mean, one of the countries I might go, or I'm dying to go soon to see, it's the country that you see in the picture, is Egypt, right? I always wanted to go Egypt, and I've read a lot of book on Egypt, but until I go and see it for myself, it would all be in my head. So it's really important to you visit the country that you're targeting, and actually live among the people, live in the community, just feel the air and see the way of life. And one thing I've learned also, sometimes it's good to just go and stay in a nice your Sheraton, especially if you're in Conakry, or your fancy hotel. Avoid doing that. Get an Airbnb. You learn a lot, honestly, because when you go to these sometime posh, I mean, sometime, let me take this back, it's necessary that you go to these hotel, because sometimes you need to chill, you need to relax, you need to move away from a lot of noise. But at the same time, you would only learn if you immerse yourself with the targeted country, and you see life in all eyes. You, like, in different eyes, the people around you, the people are on survival mode, the people are not on survival mode, the people that have money, the people don't have money. You learn a lot, you see, and you learn to appreciate your position in the world. So visit the country and explore it. And of course, I'm going to have a quick word about this, legal and administrative consideration. Get your visa, research the immigration policies, residency requirements, and the legal procedures, obtaining, like, the necessary permits or visa, depending which country and depending what passport you have. You might need to go to the embassy of that country and get a visa. So, and take your time with that, because sometimes even going there is in a frustration situation. But just learn to just, if you could do it online. I mean, the wonderful thing about Ethiopia and other countries in East Africa, you could do it online now. I think there are one or two, well, few West African countries and Central African country where you have to go to the embassy and request a visa and so on. But most of the East African countries, you could do it online. You don't necessarily need to go and see somebody, but read some of their policy. Sometime I have a friend, or have few people that have gone back and overstayed, and they get in trouble, and it's, I mean, you learn, but at the same time there are things you could avoid. Yeah. And meeting people, partnership, collaborations, getting to know people and working together, right? There's a lot of people, a lot of Africans living in Europe, in America, in China, in India, in Russia, and we're not collaborating with these guys. We're not meeting up. We're not coming together to set up businesses, organizations. There are a lot of people who have the same alignment as us. They have the same goals and objective, but we're not doing it with them. And sometimes it's frustrating, because there are a lot of people that around you should help you, that they're capable of helping you, but they don't. That's why you need to seek partnership with other people who have the same mindset as you, other people who see the same vision as you. Don't just partnership with anybody. There are people who just waste your time, They waste your time and energy and frustrate you, right? Trying to find free people you could trust, and then from there get them to find other free people they could trust. But don't try to go and find everybody. It's a really a detriment. I mean, I know I'm saying this is kind of a contradiction, but you have to learn to find one or two people first, or three people you could trust, and then from there, get them to trust other people, and then you just deal with those three people. But you need to find those people. Not everybody has the same objective and goal as you, and not everybody's thinking of going back, and not everybody has that same patriotic or understanding, or risk level or risk management. So you need to find those people who have the same objective and goal as you, and move forward with them. And the last one is, well, the second to last is personal well-being and support system, right? I stress this enough to say, look, we are all human in the end. Nobody's Superman here. We all need time to relax. We all need time to chill. We all need support. We all need people around us. We need to prioritize self-help. I remember one of the greatest book, Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He talks about self love first. That's one thing I never forget. He always say, you gotta self love yourself. And mentally, we as African, we're dealing with a lot of um, there's a lot of things coming toward us, mentally and physically, and sometimes, our emotional well-being, it's important. We don't, there's a bit of a two-side way of hypocrisy. They always say, um, help those who need the help the most, but we don't get it. So prioritize self care, mental health. This is a new word now, is popping up recently. Look after your mental health, your emotional well-being, and during the transition, right? So you got to help yourself first before you help others. Have a robust support system, comprising of family, friends, or mentor, or someone that would encourage you, or in the community, or people that you trust. And family sometimes is needed. I mean, we all know this. You need your people behind you. If you don't have your people behind you, it's a very lonely and dangerous world. So you need to learn to get your friends and your families, and those family who have, I have to be careful, those family who have your best interest. Not necessarily every single family member is going to help you, and especially in Africa, and especially not in just in Africa, and everywhere in the world, right? People were always going to look after their self-interest. It's just the way where self-interest, is one of those things. It will never go away. It will always be there. Self-interest first, but have people around you that could help you when you need the help the most, right? um you know Neely Fuller always say, I remember he always say, give help
Alert from low
give
battery.
the help to those who need the help the most, right? So find people that will help you when you need them, and then just get them to help you. um and then the last but not least, continue learning and adapt. It's one of those things we have to keep doing. um the day we stop learning, that's the day we should be underneath the ground. So stay updated on Africa, geopolitical, economic, and cultural development throughout news, literature, and online resources. Remain open to adapt based on things changing, circumstances, emerging opportunities. Learn to move ahead. Learn to learn. Keep learning and always keep learning. Never give up. Well, guys, that is it. And I hope you like this presentation, and I'm going to do more. I'm planning to do more, and I'm planning to maybe stick to Sunday and do one as much as possible if I could find one. Share, like, and follow. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. I hope we could learn together. And you know what? Give me a thumbs up. Write me your questions, or give me, if you have any questions or anything you're interested in, let me know. I'm happy to help. I've got a vast knowledge, vast information, and I'm happy to help. So again, share, like, and follow. And thank you for listening, guys. Take care. Bye bye.